Alright guys, it's been a while since my last upload. Life's been really hectic, but I've finally managed to get some time again. Over the last few months has obviously not been an update, but I have been getting on with a few things. I've stripped down the bed of the truck, I've cleaned up the chassis rails, and I've had the front arches blasted. So that's what I'm going to cover in this video. What I'll do is I'll start off with a little trip back up to my hometown of Newcastle, where I'll go to my friend's company to blast my wheel arches. Yeah, so let's crack on with that, and then we'll get back and show you stripping down of the rear bed and chassis. So I'm just in the blast cabinet, Stella Blast, going to blast off these wings, which has got all the proper equipment which I just don't have, which should make fast work of these rotten arches. So let's get into it. So I'm back from Stella Blast, and as you can see, the arches are quite rotten. So the way I see it, I have three options right now to repair these. First being, I can cut all of this rot out, make up a former to fold the metal correctly, weld it all in, linish it back, and that'll be a solid fresh metal arch, but I'll probably have about 4 hours in each arch. I could buy the Motorcraft fiberglass arches, which are a bargain, considering the time I'd need to put into the metalwork, and that's what the sensible option would be. Or I can do what I usually do and be a bit different and make them out of tube. So since I want to run slightly larger wheels, what I'm going to do is make up a tubular form that replicates the shape of this arch, slightly larger, and then do infill panels using checker plate, or I might even put steel in, just to be a bit different. Now, I can't do that at this moment in time because I don't have the material, so I'm going to get that on order. So this will go on the back burner for a week or two, but in the meantime, I will start removing the back of the truck. So let's get into that. So on the back of the truck, and the next job is me removing the old bed that you can see behind me. Now there's two ways I can do this. I could take the truck outside, unbolt it all from the main truck chassis rails and get it lifted off with a telehandler and let it sit around for a few months, because nobody's going to pick it up, nobody really wants them, and it's too big for me to go on any of the trailers I have to take to the scrapyard. Or I can cut it up with my plasma cutter. So I'm going to go with the latter. I'm going to undo all of the loom, go into the side markers along the side of the truck and maybe to the rear lights. I think there might be some loom there. And then I'm going to attack it with the plasma cutter, cut it up into small chunks. That way I can load it up onto one of my trailers and take it to the scrapyard. So let's get cutting. So I'm about 2 hours into the removal of the bed of the truck now. Got a couple of little bits to do. Shouldn't take me much longer, about 20 minutes. I've deliberately left these sections of chassis. I might tidy them up and reuse them, probably not. But what they will be good for is templates for when I do make a new subframe, because these have already got all the holes drilled and everything, so I can just do a transfer and get everything bang on. So what I'm going to do now is give you a bit of a close-up of the plasma cutter in action, show you how easy it cuts through this type of stuff, and finish up for the day. Let's crack on with it. bit on it over the last day or two. I managed to get the frame rails off the back, and I started stripping down the reservoirs and things like that off the chassis. It's very dirty, very greasy, so what I'm actually going to do is jet wash it all off where it sits here, just so it's a little bit cleaner for when I'm taking bits and bobs off it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, so let's get into it. So it's been a few weeks since I jet washed the chassis, and since then I've actually painted the cab of the truck, so it's now covered in, overspray. It was all nicely clean, get my words out, it was all nicely cleaned back and primed, certainly on the outside. Now it's not, now it's covered in overspray, but that's not a problem. I've still got a bit to do on the inside. There's some surface rust in places that I need to get to. It's quite awkward to get in with a grinder or a drill, so I'm actually going to get my shop blaster on it, get that back to bright metal, treat it, prime it, paint it. There isn't actually any real rust concerns on the chassis. There's only one place I'm actually wanting to repair. And that's this gusset here. It's worn a bit thin. It's obviously had water pooling on it for many years or something, or it might have even been, who knows, it needs replaced. In the centre, it's about half the thickness it once was. So I'll cut that out and weld in a new plate. I've already got the paint and stuff to do this. I just need to continue stripping it. I'm not going to be using this spare wheel carrier, so that'll be removed. I'm going to take the props and things off, they'll all get removed, and then I'll paint it with the 1K paint I have. In the time since it's been blasted, since it's been cleaned, I've actually had all of the air reservoirs blasted and powder coated, as well as the tank straps. I'll show you them in a minute. They were done by Stella for me, and they came up absolutely fantastic. So yeah, let's have a quick wander over and see them. And these are the tanks that Stella have done for me. As you can see, they're still covered in the shrink wrap. I don't want to remove them, but the blasted, powder coated all the tanks and tank strap. They've even did the fittings for me, and they've came up fantastic. I'm not going to remove the shrink wrap, so what I'll do is I'll put a picture in here. As you can see, they've did an absolutely fantastic job. I'll put a link for them down in the description below. They're based in the northeast of England, so if you need anything doing, give them a shout. I've actually still got some things for them to do just over here. Got my front bumpers to be done, cab lock mech, things like that. They'll all be going up there and getting blasted and powder coated the next time I'm up home. So yeah, that's about it for this episode. As I briefly touched on before, the cab is actually all painted now. I've spent the last week and a half prepping and painting that. Take you through all of the process step by step. So that's what the next few videos will be. They're already recorded, so just a case of editing them. Like that, that's about it really. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all of the usual social media type things, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks very much for watching.